This is the Open Space Committee meeting, and we are being videoed. It's February 10th at 7 p.m., 2020. All right. Everyone reviewed the minutes from the last meeting. Are there any corrections? I see two.
Yeah, just the words that.
A cutoff on the edge, yeah. So security,
Oh, it sounds like a printing thing?
Mm.
Oh.
number 8 is such as security and parking, it should be.
Mhm.
Okay. And then agency. Agent, okay, period. All right, and then number 4, Suzanne Kane is not the town administrator, she's the assistant, right, to the.
I guess I could check like an email signature. I just tried to remember it.
Yeah. Wing it
Executive
up.
assistant or something like that, executive assistant.
Yeah.
I'll check. I think I have her email saved somewhere.
Susan King, that's Cheryl.
Cheryl's the clerk. Or
Treasurer, collector, assistant
Yeah.
collector.
Yeah.
I can't help you. She's the executive administrator or something like that.
okay. So 8 and 4.
Oh, and then just, there's a 9, Elma Zinski mentioned that there is a developer,
Okay.
it's just dropped a couple.
Okay.
All right, everyone, let's see. Any corrections? Yes. Okay, entertain a motion to accept them as corrected.
So moved.
Any second it? All, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we have accepted the minutes. With the changes. All right, now we have the questionnaire, which, basically I sort of reviewed the whole thing and wrote down, like, I tried to just boil it down into a little thing for the presentation today with our town administrator. But maybe we should take it to the next step and do a publicity thing on it, you know, kind of give feedback to like the people that maybe wanted to, you know, were curious how it turned out or didn't know about it, but we'll tell them how it turned out anyway. Anybody want to write something up for the paper?
Oh gosh.
So the deadline for the New Oxbridge Times is the end of the week, actually. Because that's a monthly, so the others you can submit
Is
more frequently,
Friday.
but it's Friday, Saturday, yeah.
Friday.
I'd be willing to do it, but English is a foreign language to me.
Yeah.
Well, if you draft it, I'll edit it for you.
Okay, all right, I can try something.
She's a good editor. Yeah. You want? I didn't bring the open space committee plan for you today.
It's okay.
But the last minute, I was like, I'm gonna make sure that I get it all.
Becky was just asking about it too.
Yeah. Did you make another copy of this?
Of this,
Yeah,
yeah, I do have it.
because Gordon could lift some of that for the report.
Well, isn't that what it is reporting on the results, so
Yeah.
I need the results. Yeah.
Yeah, we have another copy, so you can
All
keep
right,
that.
great.
If I need it back, if I can't find mine, I know where it
And again, how many people responded?
is. 97?
We're close to 100. Yep.
Yeah, you probably around 100 or something.
Because if you want, I'll make another copy of that.
I think I have
Okay.
one of them.
The highlights.
Mm-hmm.
Press release.
And this is for newspaper, right?
The New Uxbridge Times, which, I mean, there's also the Blackstone Valley Trib,
Mhm.
but this
And we
is
just missed
monthly.
but we could submit it to the Blackstone Valley Express,
Mhm.
but it'll be another cycle before it gets out. So once it's done, we can just.
You
but-
often see the same thing in the
Yeah.
paper
Mhm.
weeks later.
But people read different
Different.
issues and everything, but
Right,
as long as we
for
get this
everyone.
This way we have a deadline to work under,
Mhm.
okay?
We'll get it in a couple
We
days.
need- All right, excellent, yeah, it's, you know, what we tried to present to the town administrator today was that, you know, a lot of people want swimming places, people want, we didn't push the horse thing today because we didn't, you know, wasn't part of it, but he took the plan and, you know, he probably took the copy, didn't he?
Mhm.
But, yep, so, he seemed very interested
Mhm.
in it.
So you wanna skip to that?
Well, sure. Number 5, Wallen Lake property. So, yeah, we had a meeting today with the town administrator,
You're only attending,
the 3 of us.
so going in.
Yep.
Mhm.
And, he was very open to the idea, he was excited about it,
Mhm.
actually. And so he wants to see, make sure that it's a clear title, which it was said that it was, but, I did call up, I emailed the, Realtor, and I called her and told her, and she was gonna send it to me, but I didn't see it, haven't seen it
I
yet.
haven't seen it, yeah.
So, we'll get a copy of that, and then we'll do all the, you know, as far as getting
Mhm.
make sure that it's legal and
Mhm.
everything like that, and get it on to the whole docket for town meeting coming up, and maybe we'll fly, who knows?
Mhm.
What was a little confusing is that we didn't print out the deeds that she should be able to get us, but we could also just get them online. But then what was the other document?
It was just,
Yeah, that thing.
Dis-
Dedication.
Dedication.
yes.
Yeah,
It was
dedication,
from
which is kind of a
1974, and,
odd term, but it was unclear whether that was still running with that deed or if it had all dissolved. So
Mhm.
that's what he was curious about in some respects, which is a good question.
I remember her saying that the people on the Massachusetts side dissolved their association and the land reverted back to the owner, her. And I asked, what happens if the Rhode Island side dissolves their association? Where does the land go? And I've never really got an answer.
But what's with that
declaration.
declaration is when it happened, there's no clear record of when it dissolved.
Mm-hmm.
So what we need is for her to provide us the proof that it dissolved and that it was reverted back to the owners.
Mm-hmm.
So she should be able to work with us on that.
Okay. Yep. So, all right, so we, you know, maybe, well, that's our major force probably for the moment as far as anything, any other projects. We continue on them individually or whatever, but I think we'll push for the overall like thing for now, to get it on to
People
the.
want it.
Yeah, or just, because of the town meeting in May and everything.
Yeah, just to let you know that,
Check it out and then be done.
I don't know, we might have to go before the Board of Selectmen, or the administrator's trying to check on what the process is for conservation land versus if this was a different kind of purchase. And then, the
Open
warrant
market.
is reviewed during March and it closes in April. And we can have a placeholder there so we can continue to work on doing our due diligence.
Mm-hmm.
And so we don't lose the opportunity, basically. We will probably need an appraisal, an independent appraisal, and this is where we would then have to sort of, strategically decide, do we want both lots and the beach piece, or how do we want to configure it according to what the process is and funding and all that good stuff, so. He's checking on what exactly the process is, so we can be clear about that moving forward. But it's a very tight timeline, and then we'll just have to keep posted, because it could move forward, it could
Mm-hmm.
get stuck or something, and we'll just have to see.
It's nice to have something possible, in the,
Yeah, once
in the
February
works.
25th comes around, then I'll be able to get on the grant station and see what's available.
The library doesn't have that? I
I
just thought of
don't
that.
TechSoup does say libraries can have them, whether Douglas took advantage of that, I don't know.
It just dawned on me, so, okay. Okay.
Okay, we wanna go back to the Keven sign, number 4. Did you ever?
I did nothing on
Yeah,
that.
Okay, so
Again.
later, I'll put that later. Lisa, yeah. And the town cleanup, number 6. Do we, the Earth Day is coming up in April, 50th anniversary.
I will not be in the country.
Oh, yeah, where are you gonna be?
We're gonna go on our honeymoon in Europe, so I'll be gone like the end of April to early
Okay.
May.
Right.
My life is really crazy right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy good.
Posted on the Dynamic Douglas was something about doing some cleanups and picking some streets.
That would be really, I mean, that's,
Don't
you know,
know what day it was.
Was that student generated or Boy Scout, Girl Scout, or, do you remember? I haven't looked.
I'd have to go back and look.
because there was
Just had
one
popped up.
kid that got credit for it, for, you know, your student hours or whatever.
Mhm.
So you said
Community service.
you
Yeah,
saw
community service.
people are actively gonna go.
I saw a post where someone was posted saying, nominate the dirtiest streets or something or
Oh.
other like that, to
That's
work on
fine.
doing a cleanup.
Yeah, that's kind of like a good like
Don't know
ploy,
if it
like,
went
gets people
very far.
engaged.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, my street's the dirtiest.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm gonna throw all my trash out now.
Mm.
My street's dirtiest. Yeah,
Pretty sad.
yeah.
I wonder, like, you could reach out to that person and say, like, oh, if you're gonna go to that dirtiest street, like, we can help you market it or something.
Yeah.
Get people involved.
I have a plan to go on Rydell when the weather's nice
Yeah.
and pick up all the beer cans and buy lottery
Oh.
tickets.
Yeah.
You
That's
wanna
what
get
we-
rich or something?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's gotta
You know what
turn
the
out
new
well.
nip is?
Yeah.
Is there a deposit on them yet?
No,
No,
but there's a new nip.
okay.
It's the
Re-
marijuana
That's a
canisters.
single
Um,
use.
so I bet people are checking those out the window.
And they're plastic,
I know.
just like the nips.
Yep.
But they don't have the metal ring that you have to take all off. When I had the mound of them that I took all the metal taps
Oh,
off the
geez.
nips.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Last cleanup.
Oh.
Well, if there was some, you know, it would be nice to combine it with somebody rather than just us taking
Yeah.
charge. Last time there was, you know, Joanne Griffith was into it and a lot of other people that maybe we
Is this to be done on Earth Day or
could,
around?
just an incentive, you know.
I think Earth Day's the middle of the week,
Yeah.
Mhm.
so it would
Maybe
be,
like the weekend adjacent.
yep.
Maybe I'll call up Joanne and see if she's motivated this year and we can help her.
Yeah, I think I made the flyer like a couple of years ago, so like we could just use the same flyer, and I can send that out if someone can like distribute it. Whatever we did last time.
Yeah, there was someone that was also doing it with the school. That's right, and we had it planned for the same day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they did theirs the next day, and they had a big party up at the high
Mhm.
school for community service on
So you could do it the weekend before or the weekend after. I think it's the 22nd is Earth Day,
Mhm.
which is a Wednesday, so.
The weekend after, I'm tired of both days. Trail work days, both
Mhm.
days. One in Upton and one in Douglas.
yeah.
Fun.
So you have nothing to do except clean the house the weekend before, right? So you could just, the weekend before. Or 22 best. All right, the tax taking workshop is on hold for now, is that?
Well, no,
Why did you
not
write, or-
really, because and I'm sorry, because we got
Yeah.
sort of crossed, because I had talked to you, and then I wrote a note to Becky after I talked to,
Yeah.
Cheryl, because
Maybe we better make the date this time
No,
rather than
well-
you.
because I didn't know how much of this, I was concerned that we would have a lot to talk about this, and that everybody would start to fade. So Cheryl's available on the 21st, which is a Friday morning, and that way we can, basically sit here, and, so Ellen, I'm sorry if you can't, but if
You can
the-
tell me how it goes.
We could Skype you.
But that way, if we have to pull something together, and she can take the time to review the whole thing, so I said I would get back to her about
That's fine for us.
if that works for people.
What date?
I'm available on
The
Friday.
21st,
21st of,
February, this month.
Friday
Oh.
morning.
2 weeks from this Friday, I think.
Morning would be better.
I think it's one, because this Friday is the 14th, so it'll be 1 week.
Right, I'm sorry.
I'm
Yeah.
open.
So you wanna say 10 o'clock here?
I can live with 10.
Okay. So I'll tell her it's 10 o'clock. We'll be here. We'll bring the donuts or something, and
Gluten-free, please.
so and in the meantime, if you have any questions, you can jot them down. We can give them to her ahead of time, or she's just gonna walk us through the process, basically, of how they approach it, and then when the property is available, depending on its classification.
And then we could step in or whatever.
And we can ask her about Chapter 97 if we wanted. Make it-
Or at the very least, if we could get on some kind of notification list
Yeah.
of when, because we're not on that list.
And she's gonna bring the list, the current list
Yeah.
with her, okay? So that'd be
Is
great.
there some way we can get an updated, like a big town map that's got the parcels all out, and but the ones that are, like, you're the one, like, the one that
When
you're
I
coloring
sketched
in,
Yeah. Mhm.
that, is an updated one? Is there some way we can get one of those?
Steve Zisk should be able to print us up something.
You have to ask. Cause they have that, that printer in the copy room. I think that's,
But something like this with properties marked, right?
Yes, with the things in, which ones are protected and stuff like that, because I just
Yeah.
says, it would be easier for us, so when something comes up with the list that she's showing us, if we can see where it is. I mean, is it next to anything? Does it look like a key
Right.
piece? It
I
would
mean,
give
I'm
us
surprised they
some
don't have something like that.
better
hanging.
context, yeah, that's why I was
Mhm.
checking those out when I was in here, I'm like, okay, there is nothing here.
Those
And
are
all those
also-
are fairly old.
really dated, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So you want to color code it based on like what's conservation land
So the problem is, you can do that on the,
or GIS?
I think you can do that on the assessor's maps, the GIS online, but you can, I don't know if you can build the layers. So you can like pull up all the Chapter 61 parcels, but then you can't see if those are adjacent to parcels that are already protected. So that's what we want. Maybe we can ask Steve if he can do a composite, basically, that says they're protected, they're municipal, they're whatever. Cemeteries, et cetera, and that
I've
way we
asked him
know.
a few times and he's kind of put his back up, but I forget why, so.
Hmm.
Maybe it's
Him again.
busy or
Well,
forgets.
just, like, I don't know if he can do that or whatever kind of thing, but yeah, composite.
Like Bill might know too, like he can use like GIS.
So,
Yeah, those are Mass GIS, some of those I saw.
So yeah, so Mass GIS is the database.
Yep.
but is, what is it, Oliver?
Yep.
But is Oliver integrated enough with the assessor's map so that it pulls the chapter land and everything?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I just
I
don't
have
know
somebody I
if you
could
could
maybe
overlay like
Yeah.
the capabilities of Oliver's into like a free service.
Right, but it's by the state, so
Mhm.
maybe they've sucked up all the data. I don't know. I have somebody I might be able to ask. So do you want me to try to get a map together for the tax workshop, and then, so we can look at it in a comprehensive manner?
If you.
I mean, we could
Sure,
use
we
this
could
at the
use that for
moment,
now.
yeah.
I'm just saying
I'll
that
bring
I
this with me, but,
would like
yeah.
to see that,
Right.
something
Right.
eventually that's
I mean, this has owner unknown on it,
Yeah.
but,
Fine by us too, because that was something that Cheryl said that they were tracking down also was owner unknowns, going after them. to-
just no one's paying anything on those pieces, right?
Hmm.
Well, I'll try.
You're gonna go
Yeah.
for the map thing, okay. But these I do this.
I guess I'm curious, because we have all these solar parcels that are in different, varying stages of development, but like the Wallem Lake, I can't call them farms, they're not farms,
Yeah, array.
development,
Yeah,
array
yeah.
or whatever. What's the classification of that then? Because it's,
Yeah. Some good questions for tomorrow night, huh?
Well, it still wouldn't be protected. Is it permanently protected?
but it's not permanently developed either.
Yep.
I don't know. Or does it need a new classification? And some of it's,
It's not industrial.
I don't know.
It's okay.
There is a, I guess the planning board is having an ongoing discussion about, I don't know, solar array development or whatever, and that's on the agenda for tomorrow night, but they're looking at different bylaws in different towns
That's the
and what we
planning
should.
tomorrow night?
Planning board.
Yeah.
There's an agenda out there
They're
in the
just
hall.
looking at all the different towns and trying to figure out what the best, they were going after Webster, they said, and then Webster said, oh, we don't like ours anymore, so. It's just so, each situation is so different.
Mhm.
Okay.
School trails access.
No updates.
Yep, I have, yeah, no, I'm just, this, I did. Okay. Here's the, by the chain link fence.
Oh.
Yeah. Going down
Okay.
Martin Road, if you ever wanna look at it, it kinda
Yes,
goes
actually
up.
I do, yep.
And it's, you know, it's a little bit of a steep rise, but it doesn't have the obstacles that the other one does.
Mhm.
It's closer to here
Mhm.
on Martin Road, like this school one is farther up towards the railroad bed, which is better for the horses.
Mhm, mhm.
But this one is maybe more easily accessed.
Yeah, I wanna
Doesn't look
get access
actually
to that
easily.
grant station, because I would like to actually do this in stages, so if I could find someone, if I could get a grant application in to survey all this property up here and survey the Keithen
Mhm,
property,
mhm.
that'll be step one, at least then we've got our bounds, and then I can
Yeah,
go on to step two,
yeah,
instead of trying to make this all into one big project.
yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
little steps.
Yeah. Sounds good. All right, any other business?
The open space plan.
I have, Lisa started it probably back in the sixties, right? And, no, you did it when you were working for Moore, right?
Kajowski.
But-
And,
Do you have it electronically anywhere, or do you only have a hard copy?
I probably have a disc of some sort,
I don't think anybody can read
Right.
those anymore.
right?
What disc, floppy?
I have no idea, yeah.
A CD?
Can you?
I have a machine with a floppy drive, yes, I do. I don't throw anything out.
That would be
Yeah.
Well,
awesome.
come to my house, I have stuff for you.
Can you see it?
I'm gonna dig, I have a big bin with stuff in it, and I'm gonna dig through it and get everything that's that. I'll separate the CPA stuff, and I'll separate the open space
I
stuff.
did throw out the 5 1/4. I got
Okay.
the 3 1/2.
Okay, yeah, I do have stuff. I gave up on that project a while ago,
Yeah.
but, yeah, I will dig it out.
Can you see if Gordon's machine could read it so that we could make a new copy?
Oh, yeah.
So
Well,
we could
he's,
convert it?
he's interested in looking at it to see if you can pitch in, but, so,
No, I mean,
yeah,
we-
you worked on it and I worked on
But
it.
but if it's electronic and he can open it, then he can maybe save it as a
Right,
version that we can then
yes.
all use on modern day machines.
Right, oh, yeah,
Yeah, okay.
that will be,
Yeah,
Put
because
it
we're
up in the
missing
cloud.
out on
I know.
some grants from the state, definitely, because we do not have an updated open space and recreation plan. The Land and Water Conservation Fund, and there was another one up there too, both of them. Both of them require,
So let's get it done.
I worked on it for a couple of years, Lisa worked on it for,
No, but what we need to look at, I think, today, is what level are some of the components, what level is needed? And if we have to get money to go to a consultant to do it, then we do that.
Mhm.
Because otherwise it takes forever for us.
that's the
Yeah.
thing, if
As
you're
volunteers to do
losing
it.
more money than you would have spent on a consultant to do
Mhm.
it.
Yeah,
Let's spend money to make money.
but that's what we have to figure out right
You
now.
gotta get money, then spend money.
I think we have a lot of the background stuff, like, and we have a list of priorities that we were looking at, but, and then we just did the survey, but is that a big enough sample? Would they require a
That's true, you need to.
more extensive survey? And then there are other things that maybe we need a consultant for, because we just don't have the capacity.
Yeah.
So it'd be good to, so if you could figure out if we can get an electronic copy up to circulate,
I'll get out everything I can and split it up.
and then if we could then sit down and say, okay, these are the pieces we need to infill, so that we can bring this up to speed.
are there any hard copies around? Would the library have a hard copy for Jane?
I might have a
Okay.
hard copy somewhere.
I've got it all probably. I might have just
Yeah.
taken it all from you. I know exactly. It's got claws on it.
Well, but we'd also
Okay.
we also would have to go back, because they continue to have this recreation plan, part of, component, that we'd have to have a sit down with the recreation folks and say, do you have a 5-year plan or anything like that on what you're thinking of doing for expanding services? Because one of the glaring things that pop out with this Wallem Lake possibility is that there are no town recreation services, I think, in the whole southern tier of Douglas. It's all focused in
Martin Road or
Yeah.
the ball field.
the ball, and then out towards, a little bit out towards the common.
What about like the Wallem Lake Public Beach? That must have someone maintain it, right?
Oh, so
That's-
I'm differentiating between state and
Oh.
town owned. But the town has nothing out there,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because, optimally, we're 36 square miles, and you would like to have some town recreation dispersed so that, no matter where you are, you have access to some,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's a playground or a walking, something. But that's another way to look at it, geographic distribution.
Mhm.
So,
I mean, I'm sure if there was like a development going in out there, we'd probably say, hey, you need to throw a
Yeah.
playground in there or something and that, but there are a lot of kids living on the terrace probably that would enjoy this one. It's a concentration of people.
Mhm.
but that's also what your open space plan could help tell you.
Mhm.
All right, I'll clean house, find that thing.
Yeah.
Oh, some spiders.
So back to the map you want. So what exactly do you want in the map? You want the town and you want assessors parcels?
State land, conservation land, town land.
You just want like a color coding of those things. If I have free time at work, I might be able to see if, cause I have like ArcMap, so I can see if I can like, pull it together. So if MassGIS is like up to date,
Yeah.
But that's where we have to start first, to see what,
the database.
Yeah.
Mhm.
how up to date is it? Because, there are developments being discussed right now that
Yeah.
I don't know if those are on protected property or
Mhm.
could be protected, I don't know. But, in the blink of an eye, it's gone, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing when you look at like the last year's annual report and you say, oh, well, there's like 4 developments going in and, 84 house lots or whatever. It's like, be nice to do a moratorium like we talked about a while ago.
Really.
Well, I'll see what's on Mass GIS and maybe I can like put something
Thank you.
All right, and next meeting, March 16th.
Yep.
Good.
Well, actually, our next meeting will be the tax workshop, because actually we
Okay,
should post
yeah.
that.
It's the 29th.
21st.
21st at 10.
Yep.
Okay, I make a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, it's 7:31.
Sure.